Hello all. In this session, we will going to learn about plate load test. This plate load test is one of the in-situ test known as field test and not so frequent method to determine allowable bearing pressure and settlement for a foundation soil. The test procedure for PLT we follow IS 1904-1978. Firstly, need to understand what is this allowable bearing capacity. With the basic terminology in the introductory part, we have heard about QNA. Q signifies gross pressure intensity, structural load self-weight of the foundation, and overburden pressure. This cumulative value comes under Q. QNA says it is net gross pressure. We are reducing the overburden pressure from this gross pressure Q. QNA, it is net allowable gross pressure. We define as it is the net bearing pressure at which soil neither fail in shear nor in excessive settlement happens. Such value is known as net allowable gross pressure. And another objective is settlement is known with respect to the imposed load. Now coming for equipment used for the testing. Bearing plates. The minimum size is 30 cm in diameter and maximum 75 cm in diameter. These bearing plates are made up of steel and thickness of 30 to 35 cm are used depending on the foundation surface of soil. If majorly soil is cohesive, large diameter of the plate is used, and for cohesion-less soils, smaller diameter plate is used. Don't get confused with the number of bearing plates placed here. Individual bearing plate is used while testing, and this bearing plate have grooves at the bottom surface to provide friction between the contacted surface. Next, coming for the loading mechanism. The loading mechanisms are gravity loading and the reaction truss. The next is the hydraulic jack to impose the pressure, and the dial gauge to know the bearing plate settlement. With an example, I want to explain in a simple manner about a plate load test mechanism. We are very familiar with the jack used to change the stepney. Firm and rigid contact is necessary to uplift the car effectively. I want to ask you that if the placing of the car jack is on the compressible material, the loading is subjected to downward movement so as compressible material deforms or settles very easily. The plate load test is on the same mechanism where the gravity loading or reaction truss is subjected to in such a way that the imposed load by the hydraulic jack could not uplift the arrangement. The pressure should be induced on the bearing plate itself. Now coming for the conduction of plate load test. A pit of size 5 BP into 5 BP, where BP is known as the size of the plate, is excavated to a depth equal to the depth of the foundation D. A bearing plate, square or a circular shape, is made to rest at center on the foundation depth surface, and the loading is applied by means of hydraulic jack. The reaction to the jack is provided by means of a reaction beam. Sometimes truss are also used instead of the reaction. The dial gauges are fixed diagonally on the bearing plates. The dial gauges are fixed in such a way that a segment arrangement and they are rested on the bearing plate diagonally. Once we start to induce the pressure by hydraulic jack, A sitting load of 7 kN per meter square is first applied, which is released after some time. The loading is then applied in the increment of 20% of the estimated safe load. As we consider in this 1 ton, I am applying the initial reading or the 1/10 of the ultimate load. The settlement is recorded after 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40, 60 minutes and further after the interval of 1 hour. These hourly observations are continued for clay soils until the rate of the settlement is less than 0.2 mm per hour. The test is conducted until the failure or at least until the settlement of about 25 mm has occurred. The ultimate load for the plate QUP, ultimate bearing capacity for the plate, is indicated by a break on the load versus the settlement graph. If the break is not well defined, the ultimate load is taken as that corresponding to the settlement of 1/5 of the plate width BP. On the natural plot, the ultimate load is obtained for the intersecting of the tangents drawn as shown here. The tangent will be drawn from the upper side and from the bottom side. The intersection of the tangent we intersect to the y-axis and then this point is known as QUP. The ultimate bearing capacity of a proposed foundation QUF can be obtained from the following reaction. As we have got an reading of QUP, if this QUP is equals to QUF if it is with the clay soils. If we are practicing the test on the sandy soils, then QUF is equals to QUP, already the value has been obtained, BF divided by BP. BF is the width of the foundation and BP is the width of the test bed. Once we introduce all the values, then we will be getting the value of QUF, ultimate bearing capacity of foundation in sandy soils. This is one objective where we found out the allowable bearing capacities. Another objective is to find out the settlement. As per the Tersky and the Peak with 1948, for the square footings in the granular soil, they have suggested an equation for this. The equation for this in the clay soil is settlement of the footing is equals to settlement of the plate. B is known as the size of the footing and BP is known as the size of the plate. Once we introduce all this, induce the values over here, we will be getting the settlement of the footing. Now coming for if it is with the sandy soils, then the equation is this. Once we introduce all the values in this, then we will be getting the settlement in the sandy soils.